Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The weather isn't so nice today. It's pouring down with rain, but I don't feel cold. I don't know what the humidity is, but I feel warm. But it's tipping down with rain this morning. This Tuesday morning, it is absolutely tipping down with rain. So no sun today by the look of it. And the ground is soaking, so the sun's gone for the moment. Good morning everybody, it's Tuesday. I've got up this morning and I don't feel great at all, but I'm gonna make the most of the day, whatever it brings. Last night I spent again watching old films. I love my old films, I really do. My old films. I watched one from the 1940s. Helps me go to sleep as well. There was a bit of a racket last night and I just watch old films and then fall asleep to them. I think somebody wanted me to either go out last night or to create some noise, but I just ignored it. It's like someone kept thumping things and I just ignored it and watched the telly. I'm an older woman. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go out at night. So I hope everybody has a great day today. Like I said, it feels warm, but it's raining. So you need to wear a coat, right? But it feels warm to me. But I've got to take Max out for a walk later, so we'll see. Yeah, I took Max out for a walk last night. It was okay. There was no problems at all. Not last night. There wasn't. Just some odd cars with, these exclusive number plates. I mean, this has been going on since I left my ex-husband in Gloucestershire. I'm trying to explain it. I met some person in the internet who I lost everything. I lost my home, I lost my ex-husband, I lost my children, I lost everything. It was a horrible person, really horrible. And I did some things I regretted. Then my mum phoned me up and said something, and at the age of 34 I just went downhill and I lost everything. By the time I was 39 I was homeless. I'd lost the 2-bed council house with my husband, I'd lost my children, and I'd lost the clothes off my back, everything, literally. All because I went into an internet chat room in 2000 and something and thought someone was being nice to me, and they started off nice. Started off talking to what I believe was a nurse, and they kept talking about Casualty and the characters in Casualty, and then they started turning spiteful. I hope your mum dies of AIDS. And I thought, what the effing hell? Because back in 2000s, nobody had heard of trolls. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why this person had turned nasty on me and spiteful. And then they turned into somebody else, because I kept, why are you talking to me like this? What have I done wrong? Why are you wishing my mum dies of AIDS? Basically I kept going back into the internet and they kept turning into somebody else, and they were really nasty to me. They tore me apart. I ended up losing everything I had. They encouraged me to commit crime. They said I was boring. Have I got a police record? No. Oh, you're boring. I've got a police record. They were really evil and spiteful, and they took the piss. and it tore me apart. Now, I did not commit suicide, but I think that's what they wanted me to do. I've picked myself up, but I believe that this person or who they're involved with is still alive and still doing it. Almost 20 years on, still doing it to me, still rubbing my face in the shit. Now, the vehicles with the number plates and the limousines and the hearses, it's like Grand Theft Auto. If anyone's played the game Grand Theft Auto, it's someone who's with a sexual perverted nature as well as using me as a sex toy and a puppet, trying to. I don't have anything to do with it anymore. But it's obviously someone that's got a lot of money and access to all these, custom cars, these cars from, like ages ago, 50s, 60s, coming down the road. I sometimes see old racing cars come down the road. It's rubbing my face in shit because they're obviously dripping in riches and I have not got a lot of money. So they ripped me apart from my family to play with me and play about with me. I ended up in London, North London, for a couple of months with this guy who said that he had marble. Not that I was attracted to the marble. I was suffering in a bad relationship and I needed help and support and love and care. And I thought this guy cared about me, and he didn't. He was working for whoever it was, obviously. And he lied out of his mouth. He didn't even have a proper sofa for me to sit on. It was awful. The flat was dirty, it was dusty, it was disgusting, it was covered in fucking smoke. There was trainer marks in the wall like someone had been. I was terrified. I tried to get back home to my family and I was prevented. Of course I was prevented. They wanted to use me as a sex toy. I was prevented. This guy began to be nasty to me, shouting at me. He spiked my drink. The guy I was living with spiked my drink, and I'd never experienced drugs before. And I started like hyperventilating, running up and down the corridor. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? You haven't put sugar in my tea. And I nearly collapsed. I could have died. Someone had said, if you leave Gloucestershire, something bad will happen to you. And it did. It did. Managed to get myself back to Gloucestershire. And it was horrible after I left my ex-husband. It was so hard and nasty and evil, and I'd done nothing wrong. I'd left for a reason. I hadn't done anything bad, and I felt like I was the victim. And not I was the perpetrator and I was the victim. To explain it properly would take 4 or 5 hours, what went on up there. And I am the victim. Anyway, I ended up on my own, split from my ex-husband, but living in the same area. And I was targeted. And I was pregnant. And I ended up in a woman's safe house in Gloucestershire. And I was pushed when I was pregnant in a shop. This girl came in and just pushed past me. And I nearly fell down. I didn't have enough money to get the bus, so I would walk to the town centre, pregnant, and get mops and buckets for the safe house, bits and pieces for my room, and limousines would come up. Limousines would come up that. No one could possibly know how I felt. Poor with no money in a safe house, struggling carrying buckets and mops up the road, pregnant. No one can understand what it felt like when I had limousines coming past and people doing that out of them. I had nothing. But me, being me, strong, I didn't commit suicide. I didn't give up hope. I carried on. I wanted my baby. I wanted my baby. I lived for my baby. Even though my baby was taken off of me at 2.5 years old because it was a setup, complete setup. 2.5 years I kept hold of my child before they took my child away from me. 2.5 years I struggled with hardly any help and nothing, being bullied, racially bullied because my son was a different colour, racial bullying. It would take hours and hours and maybe days to talk about what happened to me and what they got away with and the racism. And I believe it's still going on years later in this flat. Is it a coincidence that I lived at number 6 and they move a black family into this number 6? Is that a coincidence? I don't believe all this is coincidences at all. I believe it's done on purpose to try and break me. And why don't they give up? Because it's 20 years on. And they keep trying to break me, humiliate me, fucking take things away from me, make me live like a pauper, showing themselves off. These cars that come up the road, these flash cars, they ain't just coincidences. It's all done on purpose. I know that. When I was a little girl, I had nothing. I haven't got much now. I don't give a shit about their cars. They can fucking do what they like. It's just like a simulation to me. It's done on purpose. If I don't do as I'm told, I am subjected to the most hideous, horrible cruelty imaginable. And for 8 years, I've not slept with anybody. 8 years. And I won't. And I won't be forced to do things I don't want to do. I believe this is stemming from Gloucestershire because I stood up for what I believed in and I reported abuse to the police. That's what I believe. Now I'm going to do the Alexa thing. I will eventually tell people the whole thing that happened because it's 20 years on plus. So the police ain't going to do anything anyway, are they? They couldn't give a shit. They never helped me then. They never helped me now. It's a big fucking conspiracy and cover-up. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. The Easter Bunny has been hopping around. To hear from them, just ask me to call the Easter Bunny.
Alexa, call the Easter Bunny.
Okay, calling the Easter Bunny.
Look, I can't take this call right now. Somebody's poured boiling water down my rabbit warren and I am one hot-crossed bunny. Absolutely hopping mad. Call back tomorrow.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:27 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Tuesday, the 15th of April.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Right now in Rochester, it's 10 degrees Celsius with showers. Today's forecast has rainy weather, with a high of 17 degrees and a low of 8 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Mummy, what's a werewolf? Don't worry about that, dear, but please comb your face.
Alexa, who was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 15th of April include Leonardo da Vinci, Emma Watson, Nikita Khrushchev, Seth Rogen, and Il Sung Kim.
So guys, today I'm just going to try and make the most of the day. To move on and to heal, we do have to work through the past. We might not forget it, but we can put it to one side so that we can function as adults today. But why should people get away with things that they've done and let the victim suffer for the rest of their life while they wallow in luxury and don't give a shit? That's all I'm saying. Alexa, puzzler. Alexa, puzzler.
Good morning. Welcome back to Puzzler. Would you like to play your daily crossword or hear the high scores?
Daily crossword.
Okay, here is the quick crossword of the day.
Go and bring back 5 letters.
Alexa, next clue.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Roughage in food. 5 letters.
Oh my God. Alexa, next clue.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Grey matter. There's 5 letters.
Alexa, brain.
Nice one.
Sound of elastic breaking. Blank blank. A.
Alexa,
Blank blank.
twang.
Here's a clue you haven't solved yet.
Large bird of prey. Blank blank. G.
Alexa,
Blank.
eagle.
Superb! You're 50% complete.
Door part. Blank blank. N. Blank. E.
Sorry,
5
Max, I've got,
letters.
let's see what Alexa said. Door part. Alexa, clue.
Here's a clue.
Blank. I. N. Blank. E.
Alexa, next clue.
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Roughage in food. Blank blank. B. Blank. E. It has 5
Alexa.
letters.
Alexa, clue.
Okay, here's a hint.
F. Blank.
Alexa,
B.
fibre.
That's correct.
Go and bring back. F. Blank.
Alexa, fetch.
Here's the final clue.
T. Door part. H. I.
Alexa,
N.
hinge.
Amazing. That's all the answers.
You did it in 2 minutes, 10 seconds. This was your 56th fastest time for daily crosswords.
Main menu. Would you like to hear the high scores, open shop, or exit game?
Exit game.
Thanks for playing Puzzler.
Check out the highest rated voice games. Just say Open Yak Yak Games.
Alexa, LBC radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Get more from your smart speaker by linking to your Global Player account. You'll then be able to catch up on your favourite shows on your smart speaker. Just say, ask Global Player to link my account.
Wealth Management PLC is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. SJP approved 19th of Feb 25.
Spring at last, and longer days mean so much more to see and do. So hop on a short train ride and open the door to endless fields and tulips. Oh, just mind that for the wrinkles. Or a spelling chilling castle. Still whisper. From thrilling theme parks to floral fields, jump on a Southern train and open the door to more. Book kids' tickets for just £2 today at southernrailway.com, where every stop is a story. Terms apply.
A Minecraft movie has arrived in McDonald's Happy Meal. Help your little ones build their own adventure. Explore the overworld and meet exciting new friends. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 6th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. While stocks last, their ordering policy applies. See mcdonalds.co.uk/Happy Meal.
Here, Sandra, listen to this email. Felicitations and unalloyed joy to you. Could you help with a small inconvenience? I possess $32 million in an account belonging to my father, the Prince. We need an honest person to bank this amount for us.
So guys, do you listen to the adverts? Go jump on a train. Jump. Not hop. It used to be hop on a train, right? Go jump on a train. Prince has been mentioned in one of the adverts. Prince. The Royal Mail is not delivering the post properly. My mum sent me out some money and it's not arrived. So it's someone with power, right? Someone with power that's stopping my mail getting to me. I believe they thought it was a prince that was the Ripper in London, didn't they? Jack the Ripper. They thought it was a prince, couldn't prove it, and it was blamed on somebody else. Now, I'm not saying a prince is causing my trouble, but can you explain to me why the police don't do anything when a serious crime has been committed?
Walking through H-Wing, there are prisoners on the balconies, free to interact, but for many who arrive here direct from court, they may only be here for a matter of days or weeks, and that means the opportunity to rehabilitate them isn't really there. Preparing them for the outside again, tackling addiction issues or mental health challenges, is a process that takes around 3 months. Jamie's been here before and he's back inside for drugs offences.
Cocaine and cannabis. Been on the wing for 4.5 months, can't even get a job. So it's lads, I got 40 months, so 16 months I've got. It's obviously downgrading for anyone, isn't it? Trying to cope with the situation as it comes.
Before coming into prison, I went to sit in on a session at an intensive supervision court in Liverpool. This is the alternative to time behind bars and gives offenders facing less than 2 years an opportunity to take part in a programme of things like drug rehab and skills training. They do have to come back to court every couple of weeks to see the same judge, but they will be in normal clothes, no gowns or wigs, and the idea is to take the heat out of it all and engage one-to-one.
I'm John Quick. I'm one of the head of operations for Probation Service. This is about providing a robust, intensive alternative to custody that helps them to move away from reoffending and a life of crime to rehabilitate them during the course of their supervision.
It is an approach that's been used in Texas and has been successful in reducing drug addiction among offenders and driving down their chance of reoffending by 25% over a 15-year period. And it's something that lads here in HMP Liverpool, like Jamie, would love to have the opportunity to do.
You see a lot of people in here for nothing, so stupid. Do you know what I mean? Do anything to get out there. Stay out or come back, watch your kids go to school.
The man in charge of running this prison is Governor Rob Luxford.
I'm a great believer are lower risk offenders, those with addiction issues who are able to be diverted from coming into prison. It's not an easy option, you know, being put on intense supervision, the requirement to go back in front of the judge and explain how you're progressing, how you're working on your issues is not an easy option. Overall, that pressure it takes off of the prison system can only be a good thing, and I believe maintains their family links. You've listened to some of our prisoners talking about staying in employment, being able to earn money, pay tax, be a part of society, and the intensive court supervision orders allow that to happen as an alternative to prison.
The reality is, though, and especially with prisons consistently at capacity, anything that keeps offenders out of jail and on the road to rehabilitation surely has to be part of the toolkit available to judges when sentencing. Chris Chambers, LBC, HMP Liverpool.
Well, let's put some of those points to David Gauke. Now, Mr Gauke is chairing the Ministry of Justice Sentencing Review, a relatively recent appointment. He's a former Conservative MP, had a string of senior posts, one of which, of course, was as Justice Secretary. Joins me now. I know my colleagues have made you aware of this idea, the so-called Texas-style scheme. Your reaction to it, Mr Gauke? Good morning.
Good morning. Look, I think there is a real opportunity to make greater use of intensive supervision courts. That these are very effective in terms of rehabilitating offenders. They need to be targeted at the right people. What they succeed in doing is bringing together the various arms of the state to work more effectively together. I think the authority of a judge in these circumstances is also very important in terms of changing behaviour. And the evidence that we've seen in Texas, and indeed the evidence that is emerging in the UK, where there are trials in Liverpool, Teesside, Birmingham and Bristol, is that these are working well and helping to reduce reoffending. And for the very prolific offenders, I think there's something that could be very successful in terms of reducing crime.
Is something like this, or indeed this, going to feature in your review upon its publication, Mr Gauke?
Well, we'll set out our findings in May, but yes, we will come forward with recommendations to make greater use of intensive supervision courts. I think the evidence is very persuasive. And understandably, the public are concerned about these very prolific offenders and what we're going to do with them. The evidence suggests that prisons is not terribly effective in that the reoffending rate for those who go inside for a short period of time, which what tends to happen with minor but prolific offenders, that reoffending rate is extremely high. Short prison sentences aren't working for those people, but what we do see is that the intensive support provided with intensive supervision courts is effective. So that will be part of our recommendations, which will come forward next month.
Noting it wasn't that long ago that you were Justice Secretary, can I put a couple of other points to you? You'll be aware of the attack on 3 prison officers by the Manchester Arena terrorist Hasham Abedi. He's kept in what's called a separation unit at Franklin Jail in Durham. It's believed around 20 convicted terrorists, or those convicted of terrorist offences, are effectively kept together there. How wise is that, Mr Gauke?
Well, look, I think clearly it is right that a review is undertaken here. Something does appear.
Right, guys. Yeah. State of the world at the moment, the prison system, everything is upside down and not working. Yeah. So every day of my life is some sick upper class twat's fantasy. See you later.